What's up, everybody? Well, I got another FIREBAT mini PC gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're gonna do the Days Gone update. And I don't even know if I actually did Days Gone on this system. I don't know if I had it back when this game originally came to PC and I did a video on it. And I'm pretty sure I did a video on this. Pretty much any game that comes out, I'll make a video on. But my favorite is obviously still, what do you call it? Doing requests for people. But people also really like when I do the new game, or updates of games that have been out for a while, especially when they make a big graphical upgrade like this. Now, we're probably not going to get to notice any of that on any of these weaker systems, but once we get up to the mid-range stuff, we should be able to, take a step back, does this actually look better? Does it perform way worse for the small amount of better detail kind of thing? But for now, I'm just curious if this thing can even play this game. But I gotta wait for it to transfer, since this thing's never hooked up anymore and just sits around. It always has to download everything fresh. No big deal though. Hook up to the little cord and we're set. I got it transferring off my main PC, but it shouldn't take it too long at all. It's going at like 119 megs a second, which is as fast as my gig internet can go. I don't have any of that fancy 2 or 10 gig internet stuff. Just didn't really have a use for it, but for transferring files, might start upgrading soon, but I like that freaking router. That thing's awesome. It's got so many ports. Haven't found one that has that many ports, so that's my main reason I haven't upgraded it. I don't really care about Wi-Fi, and I have a lot of ports on it, so cool. Anyway, enough blabbing. It's time for some gaming. Well, unfortunately, OBS strikes again. It just is stuck on the loading screen. So, we're not going to be able to use that.
So let's just go ahead and kill it. And then we can Alt-Tab our way back into the game.
And also look at a badass penguin for a second. So we're going to start off at, this is obviously probably not going to run very well, but we're going to try it, 1080p, high settings, just like we tried on the Allies. We kind of just mimic what we do on the Allies on this thing. It just seems correct to do. Whoop, don't want that on. Other than that though, we're on high preset. Why, hello Misty. Welcome. It was stormy and windy for a second, so she was hiding. And I think that's more than good enough. So why don't we go ahead and hop on into the game. Well, here we go. We're in the game. 1080p here, high settings. We don't have OBS weighing it down, so it's just going down into the 20s by itself. It's probably a VRAM thing, because it's only a little bit weaker than the 780M. But I guess even with the extra VRAM, it'd probably be about where it would get. Because those things were barely staying over 30. Bear?
There we go. There we go.
Zombies
Dear
chasing them
well,
deer.
Guess you don't have to be worried about traffic no more, do you?
Alright though, I think that's more than good enough. Why don't we drop the settings a little bit and see if it can get some reasonable FPS. Now we'll try 900p with medium settings. Alright, I think that's good for that screen. Now let's cruise through the actual settings scheme. We're on the medium preset. Just have motion blur turned off. And I don't know if that has anything to do with that, but it's on by default on high. And then it must turn it off because it would say custom, or turn it back on, I would imagine. Either way though, why don't we go ahead and slide back on into the game. Here we go. Now we got it at medium 900p. And we definitely, at least here, seem to be getting much better FPS. What I would consider playable. Not the most enjoyable FPS in the world by any means, but I could play like this if this was my only system. But it's probably not going to be able to do as good of a job at staying at 60 if it can even get to 60 on 720p low. But we'll see. I've thought that before, and then it actually ended up winning and getting more FPS than the Allies did. Maybe because it's plugged in and the CPU can draw more power. I don't know. But I do know I can go up here and get around all this rather easily. Oh. We can go ahead and put you out of your misery. Alrighty, and let's go drop it down to low. So, now we're going to do 720p and low settings, which is usually what this thing is going to have to do, because it doesn't have a lot of VRAM and it's not the most powerful system in the world, but hey, it can still game a little bit. You just have to have realistic expectations of what it can do. Alright though, that is that. So let's go ahead and go hop back into the game. Alright, here we are, 720p low. And it actually seems to be getting about the same FPS, if not slightly higher. We are in a completely different spot than we started in before, so we can't call it completely the same. It's not apples to apples, but let's see if we can stay above 60 the whole time. If it can do that, then it's definitely better. The other ones had times where they still dropped into the 40s randomly. So let's see what this thing can do. Obviously, it still has its stutters. I think something, when you turn a certain setting, I don't know which one it is, down to everything on low, it seems to add more stutters. I don't remember there being as many frame skips, even though we weren't getting really high FPS. Either way, though, this is the way I'd play. Probably just figure out whatever that setting is that tone down those frame time spikes, and then I'd be in business. Oh no, there we go. It did drop under 60, just a small smidgen down to 59 there, but it drops down to 59. You can't sit there and say it was 60 FPS the whole time. But we can be honest and say it was mostly over 60. That's only one time it dropped one frame under.
Son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch.
Bunch of murderers and vagrants. Just as soon shoot you as look at you.
Hell yeah, go bike go. We've damaged it so much it doesn't even want to really move anymore.
God damn it, not now! God damn engine.
Where the heck is he hitting me from? Oh, there you are. Alright, and I guess that's that for them. And with that, we can also wrap this video on up. Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Days Gone on the FIREBAT Mini PC. And as long as you are okay with like medium RP, you can get over 30 it seems most of the time. And then if you want 60 plus, well, you're not going to get 60 every conceivable minute. Most of the time, 720p low has you covered there. So I was actually pretty impressed. I figured this thing was going to either tell me you can't play, you don't have enough VRAM, or it was just going to run subpar no matter what because it didn't have enough VRAM. But no, seems like it's actually doing alright. So that's always nice to find another game this thing can play. At least AAA title. I know it's an older PS4 title that they just revamped the graphics for a little bit. But next, we can go see what the graphics actually, or the improved graphics actually look like. Because we're going to try the small form factor PC next. And that is what I would consider a decently high-end PC. Not the highest of the high-end. It's not an enthusiast grade PC by any means, but it's a pretty high-end PC, I would say. Though it's on the lower spectrum of it, but it's still there. Anyway though, that's all I got for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out guys.